welcome. This is the debut episode of the BVaz711 Random Convo podcast. In this episode, we're going to go over 4 topics. First is going to be talking about the beginning. We're going to talk about what this podcast will include. In the podcast, we have a variety of things we can talk about. That's why I put random convos. So it could be a topic that I personally have vested interest in. It could be something that's happening in the news. It could be something that I have done in my career times. It could be something that's happened to me growing up. It could be something that's happened to me while I served as a U.S. Marine. Giving all kinds of information, telling people, hey, this is what we have going forward. What are these things that probably pop culture related, newsworthy, that have to be addressed for community standards. So with this initial debut, we will go ahead and talk about certain things in the realm of random conversations. So let's go ahead and take that and lead right into my areas of interest. So I am a big connoisseur of documentaries. I really am big in documentaries. I'm huge on reality television and gaming. Anime is another one that I like to dip into. In the anime, Dragon Ball. I have a deep love for Dragon Ball. My second favorite is Bleach. And then third is Invincible. So from those parts on the entertainment side, mainly on that's what I like. And on the gaming, my focus is right now competitive gaming. I play Rocket League and Tekken 8 frequently, and that's done almost daily and on Twitch and also YouTube. But if I'm going to move towards on the podcast side on YouTube, I'll kind of refrain from putting too much gaming on there. But most of the live streams do come from the gaming side, Rocket League and Tekken. That's usually the two that I like to play a lot most. Other areas of interest that I'll have are IT, technology. I'm really into like new things that are being created or new stuff's discovered in the tech world, in the IT world, learning the new latest greatest technology that they're implementing on the computer spectrums. Any type of application that would have been created to help IT professionals, whether it be like a new operating system, a new cybersecurity tool, however those things go forward, right? That would be in that area that I would be interested in. There's so many different ones, so I just try to encompass it in cybersecurity world and IT world. For career, I am a 12-year veteran of the IT world. Been my own self-employer, and I do contract consultations and all that stuff for IT. So I'm also a trainer. I've done IT training. Was a Microsoft trainer as well. And then I retired from that. During the retirement, I got bored during COVID, so I was like, I'll go back to school. I wanted to get my bachelor's anyway. I have an associate's degree in network administration and security, so I was like, I might as well just go for a bachelor's. So I went to Penn State in 2020 August, graduated in May of this year, the first week of May, last week actually, May 3rd. I attained my cybersecurity degree. It's called Cybersecurity Analytics and Operations. Application focus is in law and policy. So governance, GRC, they call it governance risk compliance. Those things, governance, regulatory compliance, also risk and analysis, and let's see, security operations, threat intelligence, information security, all those things that would encompass that degree program is kind of like my vested interest. But because I have a strong, deep network background, going from cybersecurity or going from the IT world to cybersecurity is going to kind of be a little easy transition because I already understand networks on a deep level, and I can help secure those networks more effectively because I have a little bit more knowledge now than I did in the past, and what kind of tools we would use and whatnot, and managed service providers that we can utilize to help increase our defense in the cyber world. So that's that. Which then I can put this going towards like my motivation as to why I want to do this. And motivation for this is that being a lifelong learner, I feel if those who are interested in certain things that I like, maybe you want to be a lifelong learner too, can help inspire you guys. As you can aspire for things that you want to do in life, or if you don't have any idea how these things come about, you need some direction, I can bring you forward and like show y'all how I did it. So in case you ever wondered what track to go, what route to follow, or if you want to take a different route that I took, but at least I'm opening the door for you to see the paths, because there's many. But if you want to be a really specialized, focused individual, you have to take a different route than I did. I generalized my skill set. So I could be placed in any department in the IT world except for programmer, developer, because I don't like coding. Coding for me is not a thing. I don't like it at all. To cyber world as well, I could be put in any department in cyber world except for application development for cybersecurity. So like literally I could do almost any job. So I tried to keep myself generalized because I wanted to be very marketable. So that's where the motivation and the aspirations come. I am trying to seek employment regarding that aspect of it, but not sure like as far as like how it's going to go, because I'm in a certain state, and there's this state that I'm in. It's kind of limited as far as like opportunity in like what avenues are open for me. If I really wanted something, I would either have to go to California or like New York. So like, because Silicon Valley's in California, so it's like a lot of those positions are available out there. Not a lot of remote positions are available. So it kind of like puts me in a place where, if I really want to do something, I might have to move out in the state. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to give myself a year before I decide I'm moving or anything, because I don't really want to leave this area and go west. I'd rather go south. So if anything, if I'm looking for something, I'm looking to look for south, because I want warm weather, but I also want warm weather with close to family that lives around me. So that clears the motivations and aspirations part of this. So let's go ahead and dive into like the future plans for the next coming episodes, right? So let's say I'm kind of brainstorming this stuff here. I might have to come up with a nice episode list, probably first like 5 episodes. Try to say, okay, this is what I want to talk about. Try to keep them in a nice, concise format where they're like 45 minutes, right? I don't want too long, maybe 30 to 45 minutes. We don't need to put a very long podcast where it's just drawn out unless we have multiple people talking. And I don't want to like have something where it's just myself talking for an extended period of time. It kind of gets boring at that point, unless I'm teaching you something, but it doesn't help on a podcast level, You can't really visualize something that I'm going to say unless you have firsthand knowledge on what I'm going to talk about. So it's in this part here. I could just say, hey, on the audio side, if you all enjoy this content, come and check it out on the YouTube side and check it out on the RSS feeds, that you're going to be getting listed on. Maybe Spotify might be one, the iTunes section. Wherever this is going to go, it's definitely going to go on various platforms. Might be Amazon Music and all that. So keep in mind that if you want to see this stuff, when we having interviews, when we're having these sessions where we're actually going to go through some teaching side or career pathways, or like how to get into the field of IT, we'll start small and see where it could grow from there. It's each episode would be something different. You're probably going to get more on the visual side off of YouTube. That's just for advice. You guys could stay on the listening side if you're driving stuff. You just want something to listen to. I just don't want it to be so long that it's going to really just dilute the message, where it's dead air, it's boring. It really doesn't feel like you get in the grasp of anything I'm trying to put there. So in times where I'm going to say, hey, these podcasts can have a segmentation where y'all guys could just stop listening after a certain time, I kind of like will keep it like within 30 minutes, and then the last 15 will probably be something else. But I try to make it, if it's a news article stuff, detail the article, explain where I got it from, say in the description. We'll have posts on the articles that we pick up, and that way you can look at the full description and see what's in the articles, right? So we'll keep that as a way of helping y'all understand where we are on this topic when we're in this in this segment, right? Each one's going to be segments, and I'm going to try to segment these things. So if we're going to do 45 minutes, we need a segment between 8 to 15 minutes, 3 segments. And if we're going to do 30 minutes, we could do like 6-minute segments at 5 of them, or we can extend the segments to 10, 3 subjects, or 15, 2. It's however long the topic at hand would be, right? Since this is an initial pilot, I really don't want to take too much time just for the initial pilot part. I just wanted to get the idea out there, let y'all know this is the thing I'm thinking about. This will be coming and developing in the next coming weeks. I've been thinking about doing something like this because there are individuals in the podcast world that I feel would benefit from being in this field of podcasting with a different twist to it, where you take an idea that you have and you like try and say, okay, this idea I have for podcasting, we're going to make it legit podcasting. We'll have real interviews with professionals. We'll have topics of interest that are kind of popular. We'll take it from certain pop cultures. We'll reference sites like TMZ. We'll get into nice little popcorn ready content, right? So things that, again, are in my interest. It gets really weird. I'll even pull in some fringe science guys because that's like where I go. I go like black holes and freaking crazy astronomy stuff, and man, it's wild, the stuff that I've been looking at in the last couple of years that I really want to talk about, and I have a lot of people I believe would be interested as well. I have a couple of people that I haven't been in contact with that would love to join this. So I would say, okay, let's go ahead and try this. I'm not really 100% sure this will work, but I think I have a good skill set and I can communicate well, and I believe that people will definitely want to hear what I got to say. I have a lot of stuff in my head I would like to speak on and that to get out, and it may not be popular stuff, but it could be something that you never know. You who's sitting there listening might be like, well, yeah, that's exactly how I feel about this, and then we can have a great dialogue from there. So wrapping up, we talked about how the podcast will be conducted and what we will be discussing, what my areas of interest are, and my motivation for this and aspirations and like future plans for coming episodes. So the next episode, you'll stay tuned, guys, because I definitely will have something in the works in the next coming weeks that's going to be visually appealing, and it's going to be a great little session for everybody. And with that, thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen to this, and I hope y'all enjoy y'all afternoon, morning, or evening. You take care. Have a good one.